In the One Punch Man universe, there's a whole bunch of supernatural type beings. A lot of different beings are strong in their own ways, and you can be strong in a lot of different ways, via muscle, via scientific injection, steroids, or using your fighting skills to make you produce superhuman stuff. Or some beings are just made to be telekinetic beings, like Tatsumaki's sister, for example, which I'm gonna get into in this vid. There's heroes in this universe that they are literally a part of an organization. No, they literally dubbed it Hero Association. But then there's another association that's not the anti-disaster measures Hero Association. This is basically the Superhero Association right here. The Monster Association. It's like basically the Hero Association, but a version of it is just the monsters instead. Humans in this universe can become monsters, blah, blah, blah. The classic bout of good versus evil, right? Just like there's an actual tier system for the monsters. When it comes to power level, of course, they kind of do it like this or rank it like this. The same can be said for the hero ranks as well. Like, it's just like a grading system, basically. S being at the very top, you got A being under it, you got B being under that, and then you got C, stuff like that. The character I'm going over isn't necessarily at the top of the food chain like her sister. Her sister's like an S-class hero. The character I'm going over is a little lower than the rest, a B-class, still pretty good, but not like the top of the food chain, still strong though. She went through her fair share of evolutions like everybody else, as a baby, as a high schooler, and as more mature. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of weird that she's younger than her sister Tatsumaki, even though she looks more mature and grown. Let's talk about her. The character known as Fubuki. Let's get it. One Punch Man universe. She's the type of being that does what she has to do when it comes to her finances. She be on some bounty hunting type stuff, taking down certain beings for money, like certain class B or C class criminals. While it is true, she technically is the sister of somebody that is S-rank, but she's nowhere in her league. Due to Tatsumaki being a lot stronger, she's overprotective of her sister still, even though her sister's still pretty strong in her own right. When it comes to B class, she's at the very top of the food chain when it comes to B class though. Somebody that's S-class like Genos even said she has the skills to strive for A-class rank 1, but she doesn't agree. There are certain characters in A-class she doesn't think she could ever beat, like reaching the top of the food chain of rank A. So she just said, I'm just going to stay at B. She feels awesome about being the leader of the B-class folks because even lower ranks than her in the same B-class, like rank 2 and 3 are her direct beings that are under her. And even though she's a psionic telekinetic being, she carries a knife. As a psionic being, she can use psionic ability on herself, which is why she can float, or one could say fly. Being a psionic type character, she can use the environment to her advantage, make her very own tornadoes that are pretty wide radius. I feel like as a psionic being, the smarter you are when it comes to IQ, the more you can use your powers in more versatile ways. Because she can literally, stated right here, reinforce their body temporarily to help their body work better. Somehow taking away the pain in his knee, can no longer feel the strain in his back. Like what? The sharpness has returned in his fist. Works together with another being to heal somebody. Okay. Usually when you can pick up stuff for your mind, you can talk the beings through your mind. She can do this too, like talking to her sister through her head. Can create her own barrier. Yeah, barriers she can protect herself with, adding to her durability. To give you an idea of her power is to give you an idea of how strong she was when she was younger. Like, there's other psionic beings that struggle to lift up certain stuff. Like, for example, this psionic being, for example, could barely lift up a human being with her telekinesis, while she can lift up an 18-wheeler. So right off gate, we know she can lift over 10 tons in the air with just her telekinetic power, even while young. Do you guys remember that super powerful entity that even had to battle her mightier sister, Psycho, a being that's also a psionic, telekinetic, telepathic type being? She sealed up her powers back in the day so she couldn't access or get stronger. It's crazy that she knew somebody that would end up becoming a part of the Monster Association. And with her psionic ability, she was above her at that time. She couldn't even lift a human with her telekinesis while she could lift an 18-wheeler. So Fubuki was pretty strong at an early age. Her blast power can easily bend utensils. That's obvious. We can bend the floor with our normal physical, so of course she can do this. A whole bunch of spiders. Telekinetic abilities would come in handy with situations like this because she could just blast all of them away with ease. I already brought up earlier on when it comes to her psionic abilities, she can do other stuff like making tornadoes and stuff. For example, her tornadoes and stuff that she can create, her psionic ability, she can produce blasts that can, stated on panel, that rends flesh and shatters bone. Fighting different type of entities, we've seen her use tornado type of telekinetic ability more than once. That seems to be her and Tatsumaki's go-to ability when it comes to her producing raw blast, this thing known as the hailstorm, that she can produce wide area of effect of. You remember how earlier how I mentioned how she can lift 10 tons as a bare minimum? What if I told you it would make more sense if we were to say she can lift over 100 tons because she pulls all this debris on Saitama? For example, here, obviously, she's nowhere near Saitama's level, though, you know. She seems to be able to multitask, being able to use a whole bunch of debris at one time and hurl it all at the same time if needed. threat level demon, the demon fan, blasting her. This fan can blast people back, grown folk, and she just stands through it like it ain't nothing, showing that she's very high at the top of the B tier until the power of it gets stronger and blows her back. The main difference between her and her sister Tatsumaki is that during a lot of occasions in the show, we actually see her actually struggle quite a bit. So she definitely does have very clear limits compared to her sister. Her sister, you barely ever see her go all out except versus certain opponents that's ridiculously strong, like Saitama and stuff. You see on occasions like this, she can freeze beings in place to stop them from moving if need be, until she gets hit, of course, from blindside or something. She's one of those characters that lack showings, but you can kind of get an idea of where she ranks when it comes to destructive capacity based on the disaster level ranks in this universe. Even lower ranks like demon rank is considered to be a threat to a whole city. Dragon is considered a threat to multiple cities. Like this demon level threat right here, for example, she's proven to be strong enough to stop a whip attack from a demon level threat and blasted her back. Even with her being surprised, her special attack couldn't dominate her. And when they're talking about these threat levels, guys, they're not talking about hacksy ways to take out these cities and stuff. They're talking about a literal threat to the city immediately. Like I'm talking about, it's pretty clear cut what they mean by it. Because most characters, when they're ranked higher, they can produce a lot more raw, blunt force, depending on what their abilities are. What's crazy is that she's able to do stuff like this while also multitasking. Like I already brought this up earlier about her holding back or freezing certain beings while also blocking attacks from this being's whip. Even talking about this power of this whip is no joke. It's heavy, letting you know how hard she can hit with the whip while also messing with this demon level threat with her raw destructive ability. So based on all this information, even if you don't want to make a huge assumption she can blow away an entire city, I think a more fair assumption would be that she can blow away several buildings, or one could say a city block, one could say she could delete or blast away. What if I told you she was still a blast thanks to shieldings and stuff? And of course she put in a lot of effort to do this, but she was able to withstand something from a dragon level threat, something as a threat for multiple cities. This could confirm she could blast away at least one city if she can withstand blasts from something as a threat to multiple cities. Like this entity, Overgrown Rover, that was a dragon level disaster rank. Dragon level threats are confirmed to be a threat to multiple cities, and she's able to put a shield, or one could say a bubble, around herself to protect herself and others from this kind of blast. They even said, I'm unscathed. Without her protection bubble, they would have got hurt. But I will admit, this is getting close to her limit. She said she won't be able to do it again. This letting you know that, yeah, when it comes to the dragon level, that's definitely her peak. And maybe not even at the top of the food chain of dragon level threats. Heck, she even says it's this 20-ton dragon level threat, dog. Yeah, it's a dragon level threat, all right. Whatever she can defend against with her psionic ability, one could say she can attack with that level of power. Do you think she could trample a whole city, or at least split a half of one in half? I think without question, it's fair to say, even if you want to say she can't level an entire city, it's fair to say she could easily blast away mountains, right? That's fair. Shouldn't even be a question. Maybe with enough effort, she can blast away a small city, or maybe not the largest cities like what Tatsumaki can do. Tatsumaki can do continental stuff. So maybe not like her sister, but maybe she can do smaller cities, blow them away, lift them up, stuff like that. When it comes to her raw power output, I definitely believe she can lift up mountains off the ground if she really wanted to, though, without a question. Tremble them if she wanted to with her psionic abilities. This stuff should be acceptable, right? And then if you have your doubts about her being able to level a small city with her raw power output, Genos at S rank, somebody that's above her in rank and power, was literally about to explode. He got overloaded and stuff. Everybody needs to retreat minimum of 5 kilometers because the blast radius will be that wide. She said, I got you. She used some psionic mumbo jumbo. She stated here that she's going to use her telekinesis to suppress the thermal motion as much as possible, then find the organic portions to reinforce and restore. So maybe this wasn't her actually containing the power to blow up several mountains and stuff, but just kind of fixing them so he won't detonate it in the first place. Even though it did imply here that it took a lot of work for her to be able to do this. And this was high difficulty, like she spat out blood and everything passing out. So this took a toll on her limits. When you're this strong psionically, you don't really need superhuman strength. One could say you can put psionic energy around your hands or something to increase your punching power or something. But yeah, her strength isn't nothing really to look at really. When we're talking about physical stuff, but yeah, if she does have her shields down, she can get hurt bad. Well, at least more so if she didn't have her shield up. It can hurt her more this way. It looked like Genos was producing electricity and she was like touching it and stuff. So maybe it was a little bit of her shield helping her or something. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it's not as long as you would have liked, but yeah, she doesn't have that many showings, but you got to respect her might regardless. What do you guys think though? I mean, she's mighty thick. I mean, strong. But before I get going, I got to say quick thanks to the donations, everybody. Helps out a lot. Respect her. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.